Welcome back to Ms. Lip Art. We're going to be doing our Earth Day project today. How do you like my new mat? I think I will be a unicorn. We are going to be looking at the book We Are Water Protectors by Carol Lindstrom with the illustrations by Michaela Goad. This is a Caldecot winning book, which means that there was a prize given specifically for the art, the illustrations in the book. You can see how beautifully painted they are. It's the story of a Native American girl who finds out that there's going to be a pipeline of gas running through her tribal land. She doesn't want it to pollute the waters or pollute the air or pollute the ground. So she decides to take a stand and fight for what she believes in. We're going to be making our illustration based on this particular picture in the book. We're going to start our illustration in the top right corner of our paper. The rest of my paper is under the book. We're simply going to draw a circle that's larger than a quarter. Our figure is looking up, so we want to make sure that the nose is higher on the face. There's a small V for the mouth. And then, of course, you want to add the chin, which should not stick out too much, and you can connect it back to the head. If you need to pause now to catch up, this is a good time. A side view of the eye in profile is a V that's laying on its side. Make sure that you curve the eye in the front, and you can add an eyebrow if you wish. The neck is angled back. So try to make sure that you're doing that so that the figure looks like it's running. Next, we're going to be doing the chest. The chest also comes out, but leans more toward the back. It should be longer than the head and the neck. The arm that's raised in a fist to show she's ready to fight actually comes right out of her chin and is about the height of her head, the top of her head right there. We're going to start with the back knuckle, the thumb, and the curved fingers behind it in the fist. If you don't like how this comes out, you can always erase it and start over. Don't forget to pause. I'm correcting my own mistakes right now. It's time to make the arm. You're going to simply be making an L that starts about where the shoulder would be and goes out a little bit past the tummy. Round off the shoulder, bring it down past the other line and bring it up to the wrist. Our figure is holding a feather. You do not have to have your figure holding anything. It can be a regular hand, it can be staying high, it can be whatever you want. Don't worry what's in it right now. We're just making the figure in action. Let's make that leg that's been out in the front. It's pretty much in a line with the arm. So we're going to be doing a back bend like this with a pant leg right there, coming back up to the knee, and then line up right to your arm. And there you have the back of your leg. And there's your shoe. The back leg is lined up with the stomach. Make sure that it looks longer than the other leg, because the other leg is bent. And draw your pant line. You might want to bend this foot a little bit if it's on the ground and in action. Now it's time to think about what you want to say about Earth Day. There are so many different kinds of options. Of course, you can do it like the illustration in We Are Water Protectors and make it a pond and water theme. Or, if you're a boy, you can have shorter hair and have a jet stream or a cape behind you or a flag. Here are some ideas from some of my students. This one is all about the earth This one is about endangered species and melting ice caps in the Arctic. This one is about endangered animals. This one is about peace on Earth, no more war. This one is about we're losing the bee population, and that means less flowers. You can do an ocean theme. You can even write your own words on there if you want to. Now that you've decided the environmental issue that you would like to illustrate, it's time to design. I'm going to show you how to do the hair if you're doing a similar one to mine. Make flowing lines go toward the back of the paper, kind of in a large Y, all the way to the corners. If you're doing the boy version, you can do the short hair with the jet stream. Now it's time to add some of the details. Don't forget, you can change things along the way if you don't like the way they've come out, because this is your rough draft, so there's no need to worry. Because I'm doing the pond, I'm going to first be adding lily pads and lily flowers. You can add as many water lilies as you like, but there are more things that live in the pond. What about fish? Fish are pretty easy, but if you want to make a curved fish, simply start with a backward C, make it long and a tail with 2 fins, and voila, you have a fish. It's a good idea to make them of different sizes and maybe in different positions, unless it's a school of fish and they would all be swimming the same way. If you're making an ocean theme, you can make sea stars, clams, coral, whatever you think would work best. Don't be afraid to look on the internet for ideas for your environmental pictures. I'm going to be adding one more little fish. And then I think I'm going to add something else. What should it be? I know, a turtle. I'm going to make the shell up in the corner, pointing the back just a little bit, because a lot of times their shells are kind of egg-shaped. The neck, the head, and the rounded snout. Eyes, and then of course the flippers in the back. Now it's time to add something else. What else lives in a pond? I know, frogs. Instead of having the frog sailing on the lily pad, I'm going to have the frog swimming in the water. He has to be smaller than the turtle because they are in real life. Now, of course, if your animals are larger and bigger in all different sizes, it's completely up to you. This is a design, not a realistic piece, so you can have artistic license and make it look however you want. Isn't that wonderful? Now it's time to add the flowing lines of the hair to make them look like water. To make them look like they are going beneath your objects or your animals, you need to stop and start again on the other side. If you draw a line through your art, it's almost like crossing it out. You can do this all over your paper without worrying a bit about it having any trouble. Simply skip over your animals, sea creatures, pond creatures, and objects. Get out your black Sharpies. Now it's time to outline. Be sure to erase all your pencil marks when you're finished. Be sure you use a white pearl eraser so you don't get red marks from your red eraser. I like to use regular markers for large areas and Sharpies for small details. You can also use colored pencils, you can do watercolor, you can use whatever you wish. Please enjoy these illustrations from We Are Water Protectors. Thanks for doing art with me. For more ideas, please subscribe to my channel, Ms. Lip Art. See you next time.